What would you say is the on-air moment from this first season of The Valley that you are most proud of? Something that you said, something that you did, or maybe something that you didn't say or do?
I think it was last season on The Valley. Just, I feel that I showed a lot of restraint that viewers probably, they were not expecting. And that had a lot to do with all of the therapy and the work that I put into myself. But also, I lend a huge thank you to Luke, because for once I have my person standing up for me and helping me fight these ridiculous battles that happened last summer. But I think that was the thing that stands out the most to me, was just, I'm grateful that, again, just that the fans of the show and all the viewers are letting me grow. They're allowing me to, that they're not, pinpointing me and caging me into this crazy Kristen narrative that was Vanderpump Rules throughout my 20s and 30s.
Right. What quality do you think that viewers relate to you the most, and why?
I think truly, and I don't know if this is factual, but I think it's just being so transparent and also not pretending to be something more than I am. Like, I'm still the same girl that grew up in Michigan, like in the Midwest. I'm exactly the same person that I always was, like, to my core. I'm just always trying to become a better version of that.
One of the reasons why we wanted to honor you this year too, because you're so honest and open about the struggles in your life, the struggles with your friends, the struggles with your relationships. Is that ever hard for you to open up about on camera? Were you ever hesitant about doing that over the course of The Valley's first season?
Not really. It's just kind of my MO. It's how I live my life. It's just, I don't really have a filter. I think honesty is just so important. Whether it's, in a group, like a group of friends, or like just people you're sort of buddies with, as you see on The Valley. That's kind of the relationships we formed or continued last summer. And a lot of things will change this year, like dynamics will change. Things that were not touched on at the end of last summer will definitely be touched on this summer. So I just have to leave with it completely, like, no filter, just truth bomb at all times. Not always everyone's favorite thing, and it might be a lot of things, but I'm not a liar. So I will say this year, I think really ever since like Vanderpump Rules last season, going through everything that I went through during that time, I wish that would have been filmed, just showing sort of the changes that I had chosen to make during that time, the education, just all of the learning, really humbling myself and listening. I wish that had been a little more highlighted so people could really understand why there was such a shift between the Vanderpump Rules Kristen that everyone sort of knew to like the Valley Kristen, 40 years old, now 41 years old. And it really did have a lot to do with sort of the end of, during the pandemic and the end of Vanderpump Rules for me, and really just growing up. So I will say, as though I am such a truth bomber, what I'm trying to learn to do is like lead with a little more curiosity rather than finger pointing and blaming, because that's how I'm going to get my way with certain people like Mr. Dax Taylor.